This is Behind the Scenes Oklahoma. Welcome, everyone, to Behind the Scenes Oklahoma. And today we're spotlighting a very powerful story rooted in culture, community, and identity. I am joined by the filmmaker, Khadijat Oluwatoyin, and producer, Sydney Alison, the creative team behind the upcoming short film, Tierra and Her Egungun. So happy to welcome you ladies to the podcast today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Anna, for having us and for being such a true professional. I know, like your listeners, supporters. This morning was nuts, okay? But Anna, I thank you, Sydney, has allowed us to continue, like push through. So I'm just grateful and I appreciate your professionalism, your flexibility. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
It's a platform so we can spread the word of the creative projects we're doing here in Oklahoma. So ultimately, creatives get paid, period, and get paid more, exclamation point, right? So
Right.
that's my intention with this. So I would love either Sydney or Khadijat, please, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about this film and how you two came together. I heard you met at Cody Mayo's acting class. How cool is that?
Yes, I'll talk a little bit about the film and then I'll pass the mic to Sydney to talk about how we met at the studio. So, Tierra and Her Egungun, I am a Nigerian American or American Nigerian, born in America. My parents are Nigerian. Originally from New York, I moved to Tulsa about 2 or 3 years ago. And one of the things that I've kind of like experienced both in New York and, well, I'll say this, three things. New York are very prideful people. Tulsa is another place where people are proud to be from Tulsa. There's just a lot of history, a lot of pride. And then being Nigerian is another another aspect of a very proudful people. So it's one of those aspects where like folks hear my name, Khadijat Oluwatoyin. Khadijat is not Yoruba or Nigerian, but they're here like Oluwatoyin and they're like, oh, you're African. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, where are you born? I'm like, in New York. Oh, you're not really that African, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of like the narrative I've heard growing up for a long time. And it wasn't until like after I had graduated law school, I had to hit a really, really hard spot in my life that so FYI, I grew up Muslim. I grew up in Islam, practicing Islam. That I had a hard time in my life that I felt really connected. Like God was telling me that like, you're really not alone. Like everything that you have been through, people before you have been through it. Unfortunately, and like my family, we didn't speak a lot about the pain, the hurt. We spoke about like the degrees and the celebrations and the birthdays and things like the good things and the births, things like that. So after like that hard period, it really helped me get connected with my ancestors and just learn about them and just understand like, oh, nothing is ever really new under the sun. And that's what helped me create like Tiara and Her and Gugun. It was a time where I had to learn that like I am Nigerian, specifically of the Yoruba tribe, regardless of like whoever accepts that about me. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's between me and my culture and my ancestors. Like that's just what it's about. So I created Tierra and Her Egungun for it's not only folks of Nigerian descent. I think anyone who, especially living in America, like we all come from somewhere. Some folks, they can really only say that they're from America, which I respect. But I think majority of us do have ancestry that comes from Africa, Europe, Central America, around the globe. And this film is just a thumbs up, a pat on the shoulder, how to say like these traditions are yours and you have the space and the capacity to investigate, to join in on certain traditions, regardless of how other people identify you or see you.
I love that. And from a previous New Yorker, the Nigerian community is tight in New York.
Yeah.
And especially in Brooklyn, I would visit and enjoy some of the restaurants and gone to some
Hmm.
fun little nightlife places, listening to, of course, Fela Kuti and Femi Kuti, some of the great
Yes.
musicians from Nigeria. Amazing. So thank you. I love cultural exploration and excited to learn more about this. And so, Sydney, you were telling me earlier that you guys met in acting class, and here you are producing her movie. How cool is that?
Yeah, we both started taking classes at Cody Mayo Studios last year and got to talking about how we both actually have a lot in common. We're both filmmakers who just want to make art here in Tulsa, and I'm trying to put my name and face out there as an up and coming producer. So when Khadijah told me about this project, I obviously have already connected with her at this point, and I felt connected to this project as well. And I asked her, if you need help with anything, let me know. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And I definitely I feel connected to it in that my dad is from Iran, but he grew up in the US pretty much. Like he came here when he was 16. He's pretty Americanized, but still connected with his Iranian roots in some ways, but I didn't really learn about my Iranian heritage. I didn't dive deep into it until I was a teenager, really. And that's when I started learning about things on my own. And I've definitely felt this imposter syndrome in my life where I'm like, well, like I don't have the right to participate in certain traditions like Iranian New Year, for example, even though I really want to because it's something that's just like so beautiful and meaningful and fun. But then as I got older, I had to learn to give myself permission to participate in those things and dive headfirst into this culture that is a part of me, whether I, like am fully immersed in it or not. So that's how I connected with the story. Fast forward to now, we've been working together for a few months to develop this project. The script is amazing. It's funny, it's heartfelt. I think, like Khadijah said, everyone will connect to it. And we're in the trenches fundraising for it right now, which is the hardest part of making a movie is getting
Yeah.
money to make it. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. And I'm really, really, really excited to be with her on this ride.
How are you going about the fundraising? What's your process with that?
Before we get into fundraising, can I just say one small thing about the film? I spoke about like the aspiration, but I also want to connect the film to Tulsa. So the main character, Tiara, she is a young woman from Tulsa who, again, is very proud to be like a Black American, proud to come from, rich American history, living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So a part of the film is also about like intersectionality of like really understanding like I can be a proud Tulsan, a proud New Yorker, a proud woman, a proud queer woman, and still adapt and take heed to the practices and traditions of another part of my life that I just am not familiar with or just coming to. So I just wanted to connect that to say that the main character, Tiara, she is a Tulsan woman, a strong-headed, proud Tulsa woman. In terms of fundraising, I don't know, like if folks curse on your podcast.
Yes.
It's been hell. When I say hell, it's been hell. But folks keep on telling me, like, Katie, this is my third short film, but the biggest budget that I'm working with. I'm coming from an area where just like I'm an attorney. When I want something, you just do it, you just bust it out, and you just move on. Folks are telling me, filmmakers, Sydney, like that's not the film world, okay? There's gonna be highs and lows, and you just have to ride the wave. It's not to show that you're inadequate. It's just to show that this is gonna be take more time to get what you need. So fundraising has been hell. We started a campaign with Indiegogo, and thank you so much to everyone who donated to our campaign through Indiegogo. Please don't do it any longer. I literally had to submit a cease and desist, a demand letter yesterday because they've been holding our funds for the past 3 months.
How?
Yeah, we started an Indiegogo campaign right at the time that they changed their like procedures on how
They had a
they
merger.
they had a merger, and so it affected not just our campaign, but I mean thousands of other campaigns that are raising money on that platform. And so Khadijah has been in contact with them to try to get the money that we raised. So our budget that we're trying to raise $6,200, a micro budget short, but I mean for both of us, it's still I mean, for any amount of money, it's still a big undertaking to raise money for a film. But we've raised over $500, which is absolutely incredible. That's a lot of money, especially in times like these when everything is so expensive. It's hard to ask people to give away their hard-earned money to help us make our art, but people have done it, and we're extremely grateful for that. And now we're fighting with this fundraising platform to just give us the money that we already earned. But all of that to say, we are still fundraising for the project, and we've been collecting donations through Cash App and Venmo. We have Khadijat created separate accounts just for this film, and then we've been planning this fundraising event coming up on Thursday, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, I just want to make that clear. We're still raising money for the film. It's just been, I mean, I'm sure a lot of filmmakers can relate to this. It's been really hard.
So, am I hearing you correctly? Do not go with Indiegogo to raise money.
Oh,
Not
absolutely
right now,
not.
at least.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Well, good. You might have saved a lot of grief for someone. I hope you get your money back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're a lawyer.
And we'll see how much of that it does because they're in LA. Well, their headquarters is in California. I'm stationed right now in Oklahoma. By the way, I'm only licensed to practice in New York, but I still know how to send, demand letters and do what's appropriate while I'm in Oklahoma. But it's been absolutely just unfair and just it's been cruel. But like Sydney said, we're not the only ones who are going through this. If you go through their social media pages, folks are saying, "Where are their money? Where are our money? Like, where is the
Wow.
money?" So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you get that money and get that problem solved and close the chapter of that for the next one.
Thank you.
All right. So let's talk about your film. And we have to mention the unfortunate tragedy of the lead actress. Please, whatever you'd have to say about that, our hearts go out. I saw that posted through Real Talent, my agent, and very, very sad to hear and see that happened.
yeah, thank you so much. First of all, Ariane Texan. I know I have like an accent, Sydney, if you want to pronounce the word. I know you're like, if you want to pronounce her name properly, I know my accent can
Yeah, I
sometimes
think
come through.
it's just
It's
Texan, kind of
okay, Texan.
yeah, like
Texan.
Texan, yeah.
Yeah, Ariane Tuxson. She was our lead. We literally casted her maybe, I think we started doing casting like September, October. And I know for me, like as soon as I saw her self tape, I automatically knew she was a Tiara. And like Sydney has been doing this casting thing longer than I have. So she was like, no, we gotta get more tapes. We gotta see, let the tapes come in. But then at the end, after the deadline, we both conceded that this was gonna be our Tiara. And while we've only worked with her literally, we had a session on Friday, which was our first meet as a cast. Everyone here, and I was explaining to them how on Thursday at our upcoming fundraiser, we're going to do a cast reveal. So, we were just getting ready to tell the world, tell Tulsa that this is going to be our Tiara. And unfortunately, on Sunday morning, she was tragically murdered. And I know murder is such a hard word, but that's just what it is. I don't think that it's so much in the news of blowing up in Tulsa now because fortunately, perpetrators have been caught, are being charged. They have been charged, and the legal process is going to take itself on. But I do want Tulsa, especially the world, especially Tulsa, to know that they have like a very strong star. She was very strong and prevalent in the theater world. So that's where the people really know her in the theater world,
Mhm.
World Stage Theater, I believe like TPAC, because she had a number of roles that she was on a number of stages. And I believe that this was going to be Ariane's first film, which she was really excited about. And I do want to say this, I have been sharing about this, 'cause I think it's important that people know. It's extremely heartbreaking. Like in the work I do aside from film, I'm around people who are just constantly sad and depressed, and they have every right to be. Don't get me wrong. Look at the state of the world that we're in. I get it. But it was refreshing on Friday when we heard Ariane talk about like her future. Like she literally said verbatim, like I'm 25, I don't have kids, I don't have a husband, and I'm excited to like really tackle this project and really just grow as an actress. So it's just really like hurtful. And I guess it's even a stronger desire for us to really make sure that people know that Ariana, excuse me, was a part of this movie because she wanted to be here. She wanted to be alive. She wanted to go as an actress. She wanted to be in this film. And again, it's just a senseless act where, especially when you know that this person wants to be here in a world, in a time of age where life is hard, but she made the commitment to like, no, I'm going to further this and I'm going to pursue this.
Yeah, it makes it's such a hard situation to digest, but especially since we had just interacted with her face to face just a couple days before this tragedy occurred. And I mean, that moment that Khadijah's talking about, where she's talking about her future plans and how she wants to further her career, it sticks out. I replay that in my mind all the time because she was just someone that you knew she was going to do it. You knew that she would make it. She was going to be a star one day. She was a part of the World Stage Theater family, and then, as you know, the Real Talent family as well. And I didn't know until after she passed that she and I actually went to high school together at the same time. I think she was a freshman when I was a senior, and we both shared a love of theater. We both did theater in high school, so it's always hard to just learn that, someone that you were in close proximity with something like this happened to them. But yeah, we're hoping we're at this fundraising event that we're holding on Thursday. We have invited Ariane's family to be there, and we're hoping that not only will it be it's going to be a fun night, we also want it to serve as a memorial for her as well. And we want to invite anyone who knew her to come and just celebrate her life and her art. And it's the least we could do. But yeah, it is true that Khadijah knew as soon as she saw her that that she wanted to cast her in the film. And me being trying to be as realistic as possible, I was like, okay, let's watch a few more tapes. But I mean, I think deep down we
Sure.
knew that she was the one for the
Hey,
role.
you were being professional. You're the casting agent. You know how it goes. You can't just look at one person's tape and be like, "Oh, that's it." So, like, no, you were on the money. I just wanted to make it clear that like we truly believed
Mm-hmm.
in Ariane. Like, we just were so excited, and I just want people to understand that she was talented. Like, as soon as I saw her tape, I
Mm-hmm.
knew that she was the Ciara. So that's really the point of me like sharing that. Sydney is a Capricorn. I'm a Cancer. I go on emotions. Sydney goes on like on the procedure. That's why I need Sydney because I go with the heart. I don't really go with the brain, the mind, and that's why me and Sydney work perfect together. Capricorn, Cancer duo.
We complement
Good to
each
know.
other well.
Well, our condolences go to her family. And may you have a good casting session next and cast someone else that you feel is the right part for that lead role. I know that's super important. So, one of you, please, let's talk about this. The jollof party, is that how I say it correctly? And jollof is a type of rice?
Yes, so the jollof
Love it.
party. Yes, and the jollof rice is a popular African dish. I will say, I don't even need to say disclaimer, Nigerians make the best jollof rice. So y'all are in for a great treat on Thursday. But yes, we're having the jollof party. And the reason why, we named it the jollof party, because jollof it's a dish that connects, honestly, like, yes, Africa, but also like around the diaspora. Like when you hear jollof, like even if folks can't pronounce it, they know what it is. They know that it's tied to Nigerian culture, African culture. So yes, we're having the jollof party this Thursday at Afro Cookhouse. Sydney, can you get the address if it's near you? It's not. Okay, thank you. Afro Cookhouse on Lewis Street or Avenue, 6 o'clock to 8. And there we're going to talk about the film. We're going to tell, and we can also give a little something on here about what an Egungun is, because everyone is just like, "What's an Egungun?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Come
I
on
think that's a good idea.
Thursday and find out what an Egungun is." So we're gonna talk about the film. We're giving out, free jollof rice, dishes, Nigerian dishes, about
Hmm.
50 to 60, first come, first served. And then we're gonna have like, unlimited snacks and drinks for folks. So, and live entertainment. So again, it's just an opportunity for folks to learn about Tierra and Her Egungun. Also to know about this gem. Like my parents came to Tulsa last year to visit me, and they're like, "Where's the Nigerian food?" And I hadn't known about this place yet. I hadn't known about Afro Cookhouse yet. So I took them someplace, and they're like, "Okay," and then which is fine, like, it was good, you know. But then I found this place, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, this tastes like my mom's cooking. This tastes like the grandma's cooking." So I need,
Wow.
especially people who love Nigerian food, but want to constantly have like that easy access to jollof rice. I need them to know about the Cookhouse.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. And so I'm looking it up. I see it's called Heritage Afro Tropical Market on
Yes.
6th and Lewis. I had
Mhm.
no idea.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
changed your name to Afro Cookhouse, but I'm happy you said that, Anna, because that's what comes up as
Okay,
well. So it's yeah,
Afro
great.
Cookhouse.
Yeah.
Well, and
Love
the
it.
restaurant is so cool because it is an African market. So you go
Okay.
in, there are aisles of African snacks and spices and drinks and other foods. And then in the back is this restaurant that serves amazing food. The address is 6634 South Lewis Avenue. And the event is free to attend. So we encourage everyone to bring your friends, bring your family. And in addition to free food, we also have a few performers. Cody Ransom and Sage will be doing poetry at the event. And then we'll have Jay the Dreamer doing some live music performances. And everyone at the event will be entertained by DJ Lido throughout the whole thing. So he's going to be entertaining the guests, playing music. We're really, really, really excited for it. And we're really excited to highlight a locally owned business too.
Wonderful. So that's this Thursday, the 18th. You said 6 o'clock?
6 to 8.
6 o'clock.
Mhm.
And hopefully our viewers and listeners can join. If for some reason they can't, what's next? How can we follow along with the film?
Well, we're on Instagram, Tiara and Her Egungun. I'm hoping that, like with this episode, there'll be some links so folks can follow us on Instagram. Folks who want to help us fund the film can definitely donate to our Venmo and Cash App account, and hopefully we'll be able to provide those links as well. And then I'm gonna be very honest with you. I need a break. Okay, I think there's just so much that has been happening. I think maybe in the mid or maybe 2 weeks into January, we're gonna regroup and see how we can move forward. But I never want to be like the creative or the professional who just like bypasses some horrible life events and just say like, okay, it says work as usual. I really want to like honor Ariana. I want to honor just. I, I want it to be genuine and realistic, and I want it to be human felt. So when it comes to like what next event, honestly, I was uncertain if we should even have an event on Thursday, but we're just gonna push forward and do it. And then I think like we need to regroup. Again, I don't want to ever be the professional, and I know how easy it is to be that professional to say this tragic thing happens, let's pick up the next day and keep on moving. But I want to check in on the cast. I want to have like one on ones. I need like I want a good like week 2 week break of just trying to come back to our like heart center, and then start planning additional fundraising events from there.
Mhm.
Well, and thank you for being real because the creative process is never linear, right? It's never a straight line. It's never A to Z. It's a roller coaster. And that is why we're in it, right? I mean,
Hmm.
if we just wanted to work at a bank, it's a very different process. But this is not that. This is the creative process and it's messy. And so you guys are real. You're in the mess, but you can't have the message without the mess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So take
Yeah.
where you are and then put it together in the film. And we want to support you on behind the scenes. So maybe in a few months we can come back and hear a little bit of an update about what you guys are up to because the holidays take off, heal, regroup, and then come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, we're looking forward to start actually filming. We have
Mhm.
like a deadline of very least the end of January to
Okay.
start filming again. Well, again, now I'm not even thinking about the recasting we have to do. So again, I think that like Sydney and I haven't had a chance to like really sit down and say next step. That's why I don't even want to like put it out there. We're gonna do this and that next. I think that we need to probably use another one or more two Kleenexes, and then we have to recast Yeah. So we had a start date of like mid-January, at the very least end of January. Now, Sydney and I have to like really figure that out. Like, what is that going to look like to do another casting?
Well, the great thing about everyone that we're working with, all of our friends in acting class, and all the filmmakers that are listening to this podcast, all the filmmakers in Oklahoma know how this process works. Like, we all know that things happen and there's lots of reasons to put a project on hold. I mean, movies take a long time to make, whether it's a $6,000 budget like ours or like multi-million, whether it's like Avatar or something. Like, movies take a long time to make. There are setbacks, there are delays. Everyone is very understanding of that process because it's happened to everyone. So, so yeah, we're just taking things one day at a time. We're doing this event on Thursday, and then after that, we're just gonna have a great holiday season and regroup. And when we do finally come back, this movie is gonna be amazing, and I'm really excited to see it come to life.
And can I take one? Let me just make something so clear. We are still doing this movie. We
Yes.
still need your dollars. Let me not make it seem like we're not. No, we're just gonna, instead of going straight into production, now we have to do another recasting. So
Right.
when you hear this, we still need your dollars. We are still going to be very appreciative for any type of donation contribution, from $1, $2, $3. It all adds up. And now we even have more of a inspiration, motivation to even make this film as best as it can be, so we can submit it to film festivals and we can really show the outside world, outside of Tulsa, like, what talent lives and resides in this city, in this state. So please, we're still, working on this film. I just also just want to make sure that our cast are well taken care of before we move forward.
Like Sydney said, projects take a long time. When I
Mhm.
interviewed Mike Zara, the writer director of Horrified,
Mhm.
the movie that was just shot here, 12 years. You're not going to have 12 years, but his is a 12-year in the making, right? There's a lot of
Mhm.
writer directors out there. It takes a while, so just be patient, and like you're doing, take care of your cast, and then you have to find the right lead wherever she
Mhm.
is out there. Maybe she's in Oklahoma City, maybe she's in a smaller town, who
Mhm.
knows? But she'll
Mhm.
come and you'll know it. And we'll keep supporting you through Behind the Scenes Oklahoma, and all of our viewers and our listeners. We encourage you to go out to the fundraiser that is this Thursday at 6 o'clock at Afro Cookhouse on 66 in Lewis. I appreciate you both joining me on the podcast today, and truly the best of luck and happy holidays.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Ina. Happy holidays.
Won't you head on down to Tulsa?